Now, the question we should ask is, why would a group actually want to be more than a fellowship group? Why would a group want to share what it has beyond beyond the confines of this group? A lot of groups, small groups, struggle with that. They feel like if they begin to share what they have, it will impede or cut into their community and cut into their relationships. A lot of individuals think, well, I'm just now beginning to have connections with other people. Why would we want to mess that up and include other people, and the challenge of that? And those are fair questions. They're honest questions. But experience has also taught me, and I've seen this in a lot of groups, is groups that hold on to that experience actually lose it. Groups that fail to share that experience of what God is giving them actually lose the ability to continue on in that journey. If you're hoarding what God is giving you, you won't get to keep it. In other words. Now, I'm not saying that you've got to go out and start inviting everybody to your small group and make just kind of open up the door and bring in all kinds of people. That doesn't always work either. What want to challenge you with practically here this week is begin to think about who are people in your life that need God's love. Maybe they've been in the church in the past and they don't know Jesus now, or they're not walking with Jesus now. Maybe there are people who've never walked with Jesus. Who are those people that need a touch of God's love? How can you begin to pray for them and begin to see what God is doing in their life? And how can you begin to talk to them differently? How can you just begin to connect with them? Maybe they're neighbors. Maybe there's a need down the street from you. Maybe there's a widow. Maybe there's someone that lives close to you who needs their yard mowed. Maybe there's someone who just maybe is lonely and needs a conversation. Don't think about who's ready to come to my group, who can I invite to my group and so I can grow my group. Don't think of it that way. Just begin to think about people in your life that need a touch of love, need a touch from God. And then how can you be a conduit of that love? How can you begin to share what you have, this community that you have, with them? A lot of times groups actually begin to include other people, not through any kind of formal meeting or anything like that, but through informal things like barbecues or a cookout, or maybe just random get-togethers and things that a party of some kind, so that people begin to connect with the entire group. An individual begins to connect with the entire group, as opposed to just coming to a group meeting, some kind of official Christian thing. Research has shown that most people are coming to Jesus today through the aspect of belonging before they believe. In other words, they connect to people, they feel like they belong to a Christian community many times before they actually believe or confess Jesus as Lord. Most of the time we teach people, though, we do the confess Jesus as Lord, then you can belong. But when we start loving people and including them, they get to see Jesus through us. And then they begin to understand who Jesus is. You get to have the possibility of being Jesus with skin on. That's part of our mission. That's part of our calling in life. Now again, I'm not talking about going out and becoming proselytizers and trying to force people to say a prayer and do a certain thing. This is just simply about loving people without expectations, seeing how God can minister through you, and then being open and willing to talk about Jesus in those contexts. I think we can do that. And talk about that now in your group, about maybe are there some people in your life that you could see God using you to touch?